Disney may be changing. Now, don't you do it. Don't you break my heart again, Disney.
I would say arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable...
Because Disney just released the trailer for the Fantastic Four. And I have to say, I'm somewhat optimistic. So I do want to respond to the trailer because I think that there is some silver linings here. But also, I wanted to respond to it because I didn't want to be the only common sense Christian conservative responding to the release of the trailer. Because Michael Knowles did a response video, and it was an absolute murder scene.
I don't know what the Fantastic Four is. I don't know who's making this movie. And I expect that it won't be good, based purely on prejudice.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'll be the first to admit, I'm not into nerddom or fandom or anything like that as far as comic book movies are concerned. You give me the choice to watch a movie, and I want to watch Les Mis. No, not the dumb one with all this singing and Russell Crowe.
It's for what you did. The rest because you tried to run.
But the one with Liam Neeson. The best, I would say, theatrical depiction of Les Mis. Absolutely fantastic. I want to watch The Count of Monte Cristo. I want to watch movies that make you think. I like highbrow stuff like that. Of course, not French film.
It's a well-known fact of life that nobody likes the French.
We're not talking about art house, but things with a real powerful, meaningful message. Serious, sober films. But even I know something about the Fantastic Four and its impact on culture. I mean, who doesn't know this iconic cover of the Fantastic Four comic book? I don't even know if this is like a first run of the story or anything like that, but I'm familiar with this and know that like first issue of that comic book is incredibly expensive because it's incredibly iconic. So Michael Knowles knows nothing about it and therefore probably should mostly remain silent, whereas I will come in and give you the expert take on the trailer for this film. We'll get back to the show in just a moment, but I got to pay the bills, and I want to do so in a way that helps you. Because if you've ever made the excuse that it's too expensive to eat healthy, Citizens Granary can help you. For prices as low as $2 a bag, they can ship or hand deliver organic, ground, or whole grains right to your door. If you want to make your family healthy again, the way to do that is to eat fresh milled bread, pancakes, waffles, and pastries, and we know you're going to do it anyway, but you got to do it the way God intended. So it's time to give up that stale, dead bread on the shelves of Walmart and eat real food. I used to think that stubbornness and good causes is enough to keep me going, but my family and I have been using Citizens Granary, and it provides the needed fuel to do the hard work of building a Christian conservative media company from the ground up, and it can help you too. So you need to go to citizensgranary.com to support this business that cares about the things that you care about. And when you check out, make sure to use the code IndieThinker for 15% off your next order and to let them know that we sent you. So let's just quickly jump into it. By the way, this trailer had millions of views within like 30 minutes of it being released.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on...
Now, I love that already. Family dinner, you got this kind of iconic 50s, it looks like maybe 60s, 50s kind of feel to this film. So they're trying to at least initially strike a chord with a conservative idea of what the family looks like and family values. Now, will they find a way to destroy that? Probably, knowing Disney. But hope against hope. My prayers are that actually they might make a film that praises the value of family. I know it's a wild thought.
On the dot, no matter what, we're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay, cool. I like the fact that they're not necessarily running away from camp. The Kirby thing was always a dorky part of this story, but they're leaning into it and trying to make it at least a functional part of the story. And then, of course, you have Thing here, who actually looks true to what he looked like in the comics. Every iteration of the Thing thus far has been absolutely atrocious, but here he kind of actually looks pretty good.
Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5.
Okay, so kind of campy again, but fun at least. Not something that's totally taking itself too seriously, but maybe something that will actually communicate a redemptive and useful message, especially for families. Who knows? Maybe even this film will be family friendly.
Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Don't know who the old dude is, and again, I'm not necessarily into these kind of comic book stories, so I don't really even care. But I will tell you, I do know who that horned guy is, and again, this is a kind of throwback to this iconic comic book cover of the Fantastic Four and its original run. And what that tells me, maybe, hopefully, we'll see, is that they intend on trying to actually cater to their audience. I know it's a crazy thing. I don't think it's that superhero movies and superhero fatigue is what is causing people to run away from these films. You know what I think it is? I think it's largely that Disney especially has been murdering these films, and these films are supposed to be pure nostalgia bait. That's all there is to it. They're nostalgia bait, and I think that they should unapologetically realize that. When you create a film that is nostalgia bait, and then you butcher the story for identitarian politics reasons, you push us back into the present rather than conserving the past. But because these liberals are so, and progressives are so insane, they constantly cannot help but remind us, oh yeah, it might have been good back there, but don't forget all the progress we've made here by, mutilating children and all of that. They cannot help themselves. But maybe, just maybe, against all hope, they might actually be making a movie that reminds us of the way things were in the past, telling a conservative story and actually not have to apologize for it.
As a family.
Okay, so that's the trailer, and I have to acknowledge that final scene where they're a family and they're all standing together. I do have to take notice of something that is wild. They're all white. I know, crazy, but they were all white in the original story, and it might be okay not to have to try to diversify the cast to do, again, what Disney often does, which is to apologize for the way things were in the past by somehow trying to rectify it in the present, rather than just saying, hey, this is the way the story was, and it was perfectly fine back then, it's perfectly fine now. All that to say, the identitarian politics, the shamefulness of a conservative message seems absolutely absent from this trailer, which gives me hope that it might actually be a good film. Who knows? They may actually cater to an audience that loved the original stories and want to see them come to life. I know, crazy. The movie looks hopeful. The only thing I will tell you about the trailer is that there is zero substance in terms of what actual story we're gonna get. So I'll hold back too much praise for now and just think that Disney will do what they've always done and find a way to screw it up. But maybe, just maybe against all hope, we can put our faith in something bigger than ourselves, a conservative story that will actually value the family and show how important it is for all of us, regardless of race, without making that a central focus or caring too much about diversity. How if we look at virtue and character and morality and we focus on those things, we get a better world. Obviously, I won't hold my breath waiting for Disney to tell that story. They sure used to. But if they tell it again, perhaps we can go back and start supporting them and actually be entertained.
Are you not entertained?
All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out our sponsors down below. And if you liked this response video or any of our other videos, you will definitely like what we have to offer as exclusive perks for all of our members. So become a member over at indiethinker.org/support. But most importantly, go with God.